Hello folks, this is Tom from anti-proton.com, and I've had a lot of chitty-chatty talky videos recently, so here's one with a lot of gratuitous action. Well, we'll call it action, but testing of samples, because that's what you really like. You like it when devices test samples, you like to see the samples, you like to see the devices. So let's go over it. I'm going to put some of my radioactive collection in front of this Ludlum Model 12 with two different types of probes connected to it. And we're just going to see what kind of results it comes back with. We'll see how it conforms to the two of them. And as you notice that there's normally a handle on the Ludlum, I took the handle off. Nice thing about a Ludlum is it's all screws and metal and stuff, so you can just unscrew it and pull pieces off if you want to. So here's the bare unit. It makes it easier for you to see the settings. And I have this little CRM 100, which is basically a Rad Alert 100. It's a perfectly usable Geiger counter, but you're going to see which one of these is more sensitive. I'm going to go with that should be sort of a given, but we'll put this right here. Okay. It's really unfair to do that to this guy, but it'd be funny anyway. Alright, so first and foremost, let's connect it to something, and then let's measure something. So, here's our Ludlum Model C connector. Model C connector. Screw that on, make sure it's tight. Now we have two different detectors today. I have a Ludlum Model 44-2. It's all brand new and everything. This is a 1-inch sodium iodide thallium doped scintillation crystal. Photomultiplier tube, all that sort of thing. This is for particles of well, photons rather. Well, photons are particles. From at least 40 keV, it's 40,000 electron volts, to approximately, let's just put it in electron volts, to approximately 1 million electron volts, otherwise known as 1000 keV, or if you like 1 MeV. They're all the same sort of thing. This is a low energy probe. This is an RAP47, and this normally has a miniature high voltage connector in the end, but using a Swiss Army knife and nerves of steel, today I converted this, interestingly, to a BNC probe. Thank you, by the way, to Geo from Geo Electronics for reassuring me that this would work and that I probably wouldn't hurt my unit. Thank you, Geo. And he was right too, so that works. We're going to start out with the big, thick, heavy probe here, and we're going to switch to this low energy one if we want to see how it works. I have an adapter here from iRad Incorporated. Let's pull the little adapter off. It lets me hook this up to this Ludlum Type C up to a RAP47. Anyway, so let's put this on here and let's shut up and get to testing stuff, because that's really what we like to do. We like to test stuff. We're going to put the detector right here. You see it's kind of like pointed down. And we're going to turn the detector onto battery. And you'll notice the battery's pretty good. Still right around the T on bat test. I've been that way since I got this thing, so apparently I'm not using too much power. We're going to hit the HV button, and that shows that we have about, right here, we have about 800 volts of power, positive, which is good. That's what we want. We have a turtle and a bunny. The bunny is fast response. The detector only averages the last 2 or 3 seconds worth of response and gives you a quick response, but it's not as accurate. It bounces around. We have the turtle, which is slow, and it averages a much longer period of time, so the needle moves much more slowly, but it gives you a more accurate count overall. We have audio on and off, high voltage button, which shows us high voltage, reset, which drops us down to 0, and then the decade switch from 1 to 10 to 100 and 1000. So we're going to sit this down to times 1, and now we have a range of 0, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 counts per minute. Exactly what it shows on the meter face. And you can see we're already hard over. Let's cut the sound on. This is background. We'll set it up to times 10. See if this helps. You can hit the reset button. And I'm not going to explain this every time I do it. I just want you to kind of get an idea of what I'm doing. Hit the reset button, drops you to 0, and lets it build up again. Let's set it to the bunny fast and let it build up quickly so we can see. Set it back to the slow. So it looks like about 2,000 counts per minute. 0, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 counts per minute is our background. Remember, the reason that this is 1,000 or 2,000 as opposed to 100 or 200 is because it's times 10. There's a times 100 and then times 1,000 as well. So you got that down? Alright, let's start testing some stuff. First up on the list, the quantum pendant. Here's a quantum pendant. I bought it off the internet, right? Why? Let me cut the sound off. Because quantum pendants are interesting. They make neat check sources. I personally do not believe they're goofy claims. I'm not a professional or whatnot, so I can't evaluate them professionally, but as a layperson, it is my opinion that the claims are absolutely just ridiculous, because what they claim exists to the best of my layman knowledge, does not exist. Well, scalar energy sort of does exist, but it's not like what they're saying. Anyway, so it's radioactive. And let me adjust my thing there. Let's put it up against the probe and see what we get. And as you can see, the quantum pendant is radioactive. 2, 4, 6, 800 counts per minute above background. 1,000. 1,200. About 1,200 counts per minute above background. Make that 1,400 counts per minute above background. Not bad, huh? Alright. It's supposed to be negative ions. It's actually positive ions, but whatever. And the poor CRM100 doesn't notice it too much. Just a little bit. It's picking up the alpha rays. Alright, well that was fun. Cut that. I'll leave the sound on. Next up on the list, bag of potassium chloride. Then we'll switch to some more exotic stuff. So let's get the meter back down again. I'm going to put it on fast response so we can see it move around more. Alright, bag of potassium chloride salt. This potassium chloride salt is emitting 1,461 keV photons, as well as a lot of betas. This is potassium chloride, and it contains potassium-40, which is radioactive. And you notice we went up. We went up about as much as the quantum pendant, about 1,000 counts per minute, which is not very much, by the way, in this unit. Neither of these two objects is terribly radioactive, but some. Next up on the list, this is a sample of trinitite. This is the real deal. I've confirmed it with gamma spectroscopy. Not much. This may be a candidate for low energy spectroscopy. Look, it goes up a little bit. Not much. We might have to put the low energy probe on this. See what we get. Okay. Let's try some cesium-137. This is 37,000 decays per second of cesium-137. And as you see, the probe goes hard over. We'll cut the sound off. We're going to switch this to the times 100 mode and move the source away. Let it calm back down again. Okay, now we have a times 100. Each one of these is times 100. So 0, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 counts per minute. All right, makes sense? And you see we're down here around 2,000 counts per minute as we were before. Each one of those little tiny things is about it equals about 200 or 2,000 or whatever the setting is. All right, so let's turn the sound on and let's move this close again. And we go hard over again. There's like a hair. Go away, hair. Alright, so put my finger over the sound. Let's move it to times 1,000 now. 0, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000. So 500,000 counts per minute is the max. Make sense? Not bad. $160 plus or minus about 160,000, 170,000 counts per minute. Not bad from cesium-137. Even the CRM100 reacts to it. Not quite as well. 26,000, 31,000. See? It reacts okay. But not very well. Alright, well that was fun. We'll try some hot stuff in a minute. Let's switch to thorium now. We'll go back down to times 10. So 0, 0, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. Thorium from Geoelectronics. This is a thoriated lantern mantle. People used to go camping with this stuff. And it's off the chart. Times 100. 0, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. 10,000, 20,000. About 20,000, so about 18,000. We had 2,000 counts per minute is our background. So about 18,000 counts per minute. Not bad, Thorium. That's the thoriated lantern mantle. Alright, let's stick to Thorium. Let's drop that down. So 0, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. So on times 10 again. Now let's take a thoriated welding rod. And you know what? I have actually never opened this one. Let's see if I have my knife around here. I never actually opened this. I've tested it from the outside, but never the inside. Who knows what I might find? Here it is. Not much. 10 or 11,000 counts per minute. Thoriated welding rod. Mostly tungsten. Alright. Let's cut that off for a second. Let's switch to radium. Here's some radium. It's not from Spectrum Techniques, even though that's the case it's in. I just put it in this case. Let me see if I can get this thing out. Oh, good God. Put this on pause for a second. Alright, so we're back. This is a radium watch hand. The real deal. And we're going to leave it sealed and never, ever, ever, ever open it. So we're back down to close to 2,000. Switch to slow mode. Close to 2,000 counts per minute is our background. I think I have a couple of the samples a little bit too close to the detector. Let me move them back. I think they're polluting the reading a little. Anyway, let's put this up against it. Not much. We might need to use the low energy probe on this. And switch it to fast response. Maybe a little. But I bet the fast response, or the low energy probe will do a better job. Alright. Next up, tritium. Tritium marker. I've tested this before, so I can tell you nothing. Switch to slow. Give it a second to catch up. And you'll see the tritium just doesn't do anything. But you'll see it does more when you put it on the low energy probe. Not much. Maybe a drop, but not much. That's okay. Wait till we get to low energy probe. Alright. Depression glassware. A little. But it's not very reactive to depression glassware. I mean, it's reactive, it's going up, but I mean, it could be more reactive than it is. It could be more. So, we'll see. Let's try something nice and hot. Let's try a Fiestaware plate. This is a Fiestaware plate. It's covered in dirt, sorry. Let's put this down here and get a background, because we're going to put this on top of the plate this time. Okay, so about where we were before, right? We've got some hot stuff over here, that's why it's risen. We're off scale. Switch to times 100, 0 the meter, 0, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. So, 6,000, 8,000, 9, 10,000, minus the 2,000 background, so about 8,000 counts per minute. Most of this is like alpha, and you're not detecting alpha really with this detector, so that's why you're not seeing it. In the case of something like this, the inspector actually probably does a better job. Geiger counters are not inferior. They're just different. Yeah, even the little CRM 100 can detect this fine. Alright, let's move that out of the way. Alright, now, let's move this back. Go back to times 10, 0 at the meter. 0, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. Okay, let's try some marbles. These are depleted uranium containing marbles. Why I have depleted uranium in them? Because what else did we do in the 50s but load up everything we had with random nuclear material? That's what they did in the 50s. Why did they do it in the 50s? Because they're crazy. I don't know. I wasn't there. Didn't have anything to do with it. Let's let this catch up. Well, let's put this around it and see what we get. Gotta put that right there. It gets a few thousand counts per minute. About 6,000 counts per minute. I'm subtracting 2,000 in the background. Actually, it's already subtracted, so 8. So actually, it's 1,000 counts per minute. There we go, 1,000 counts. It's 3,000 minus the 2,000 background, so it's 1,000 counts per minute. It's like doing my math wrong there for a second somehow. Alright, pull that off. Okay, now, let's let this kind of calm back down a bit to where it needs to be. And we're going to test something that should not work. Should not work. These are polonium-210 samples. Now, the polonium-210 samples should not work because, well, they're polonium-210. And where is it? I'm going to take them, and I can only do one at a time because of the stupid NRC rules that are involved with this. Not allowed to have them both because they would be, you know, doubling up or something. Now that's a polonium-210 sample. We'll put that up against this. We don't get anything at all. In fact, it probably goes down a bit because my hand's in the way blocking some of the radiation from around the room. But I bet you the low energy probe will see this a little better. So we're going to test this one with the low energy probe and see what we get. Maybe we'll get something with it. Alright, let's try smoke alarm. Here is a smoke alarm. The button has not been removed because removing a smoke alarm's button is, well, not a good idea. It's not safe, etc. This one actually fits right into my smoke alarm and it still works perfectly fine. It's not really dismantled exactly. Obviously that went hard over. Set it to 1 times 100. Zero it out. 0, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. Bet you the low energy probe does a good job with this. So, 20,000 counts per minute. Switch this to fast. Let it catch up quickly so we don't sit here all day. So about 2,400 counts per minute is what it gets. Not bad. Okay. Well, anyway, let's put on our glove. We'll leave that on times 100, so 0, 10,000, 20, 30, 40, 50,000. Because when I'm about to put up against it, it's probably going to overdo that. Here's a piece of uranium from United Nuclear. Alright. I'll need to clean this whole table off when I'm done. In fact, it's hard over. We're going to switch to 1,000 now. 0 the meter. 0, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500,000. Alright, so we are approaching 80,000 counts per minute. Pretty hot stuff, huh? Nearly 100,000. There's a difference in gamma sensitivity, as you might notice. Alright, so we'll take this and put it aside. In fact, I'm going to go so far as to do this. Pull my glove off with the uranium inside. So we'll take that out later. Alright, we're almost done. Then we'll switch to the low energy probe and see what we get. We're going to leave this on times 1000 because of what I'm about to put up against it. It's really hot. 0, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500,000. So 500,000 is the max. Alright, here's some potent sources I'm going to put up against it. The first on the list is cobalt 60. This is nearly 1 microcurie, which is nearly 37 kilobecquerels of it. This is powerful stuff. The low energy detector would not do very well against this. 200,000. Not bad. You've seen cesium. So let's switch to europium-152. This is a tiny drop over 1 microcurie, so a little over 37 kilobecquerels. We exceed 500,000 counts per minute. I don't really know what its maximum would be. Probably 600,000 or 700,000. Now for some sodium-22. This is 37 kilobecquerels. Isn't that funny? Sodium detecting sodium. Go down to times 10. Well, that was fun. In fact, let's cut this off. Oops. Let that power go. Pull this off. Put in our adapter. Hook up our RAP47. Yay! Pull off the safety cap. Alright. Move that out of the way. Battery check. Times 1 right now, so 0 to 500 counts. This one actually can do that. Switch to slow response. And you see our background. Yeah, this whole place needs to be clean. Our background's nearly 400 counts per minute. Not bad. Let's see how we do against our trinitite. Over the edge. So times 10, 0, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. Zero it out. So 200 counts per minute, 400 counts per minute. That's about right. About 400 counts per minute. So let's put this up against it again. See what we get. 600. 7. Nearly 8. So we're getting about 4 or 500 counts per minute off of this guy. Nothing much. Let's see what the radium does. This does pretty good against the radium. This would be a watch hand on somebody's arm. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. Let's put that back in here. Now let's zero this out and let's go back to times 1. I want to see how this thing behaves with polonium-210. Here's a polonium-210 source. Polonium-210. Seems to pick it up. Now, many of you might be wondering, how could polonium-210 possibly be picked up by a gamma detector? Well, the reason is it actually does, first off, it does actually emit a gamma ray, just not very often, so that's probably not the main reason. The main reason that's picking it up is probably due to Bremsstrahlung. Basically, the alpha particles are hitting the detector, and as they slow down, they're emitting braking radiation, which is extra photons. Let's see how this thing deals with, put it in times 10, so 0, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. Zero it out. Let's see how it deals with depression glass. It's a pretty good job on depression glass. Not bad. The marbles with depleted uranium. Pretty close to the depression glass, and for a pretty good reason. They're probably both depleted uranium. Smoke detector. Times 1,000. No, sorry, times 100. So 10, 0, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. I think it's doing better than the bigger one did. Makes sense. Americium 241 is a pretty low energy emission. But I think what we really want to see is the tritium. Because there's somebody on YouTube, if you recall, who made a video with one of these units testing a tritium marker and saying that they were radioactive. And you know what? Oops. Bumped the camera. It turns out he's right. Let's test it and see. Here's the tritium. Times 10. 0, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. Counts per minute. Here's the tritium. Little tritium keychain. You're supposed to put this in your pocket. Obviously, it's putting off X-rays. Nice. See what the quantum pendant does. I think the tritium's hotter than the quantum pendant. Well, anyway, so there you go. And that's our little Ludlum Model 12. And it's a little super duper fun. You can buy all kinds of pros for it connected. I think it's quite neat. So, oh yeah, and one last thing, the check source on the side of the Ludlum. Wow, 10,000 counts per minute. Not bad. Go Ryoki, go!